Yep.
So make sure that is closed. In that position, that's closed. So the water is maintained in the system. If it's lifted up, so if it's just tipped up like a hinge, it's pointed up towards the sky, that will drain the water down. Okay. So you may want to do that. Obviously, you definitely want to do that for winter. At the same time, open all the taps to centre. So that'll help it, obviously, and it won't cause a vacuum kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, so that will drain it all down. I tend to drain that as I'm driving home. So what we tend to do is not drain it on the pitch. Get to the the site gate or entrance. My wife tends to jump in, open that up, open all the taps, and as I'm driving home, that bit of movement obviously helps to drain it out as well. Okay. So the next thing we need to do, as I said, make sure all the taps are closed. Then we can then turn the pump on. So we just press that button there. Start on the cold side, open it up, get the air out the system. Okay, if you've drained it previously, obviously the whole system's going to be full of air, so it needs to come out all out through that tap. So you might see a bit of sputtering in a minute, because I took the pipe out before. It's not going to do it now, is it? There you go. So normally you'll see a lot of that to start with. Once you've got a solid stream, then turn it across to the hot side. And the pump now is shut off. So it's got quite a bit of pressure there. Yeah. So you'll have a lot of sputtering for a couple of minutes at least, because what you're trying to do now is fill your hot water tank. So obviously you've drained that previously. It's a 10 litre container. There's 10 litres of air that's got to come out that tap. Obviously I've already primed it already. So once you've got a solid stream like that, you know your hot water tank's full. Okay. The pump runs on a pressurised system. So if you haven't got all the air out of the system, the pump will continue to run for that little bit longer, that's what it's doing at the moment. I haven't primed the other two taps that are in there. Okay. If you're struggling to get the air out of the system on the hot side, shut the tap down. Let the pressure build up. Okay. What it's doing then, it'll try and push the air to the end. Then just open that gradually, because it will come off with quite a bit of a force. It can explode the air out, and then just let that air out. Then you can shut it down again. It'll build the pressure up again. Lift it again, and you should hear the water. Normally you'll hear the water coming.
Yeah.
You'll get used to that noise, and then you should get the. Once you got that, you know that you've got a full hot water tank. Okay. But do the same with each tap. It's always best to start with this one and then work your way to do the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next thing you want to do after you've done that is get the water heating up and running, or heating if it's cooler months as well. So control panel for the heating. On-off button is that one there. You can see that's a green light inside it. That's to say it's operating okay. If it goes red, that means there's a problem. And normally the one you naturally we're going to see is it will say gas failure across there with the yellow triangles. The reason normally for that is either you haven't turned your gas on, so it is failed to light more or less. So you probably haven't switched the gas on, or you run out of gas. So that's the one failure you're likely to see. Okay. Centre of the screen, what we've got is room temperature. That plug there, that's to indicate that we've got electric available. Okay. It's not running on electric necessarily, but it's there available. So if you just go back to the consumer unit, which is under this side, next to your boiler. See that orange button there?
Yeah.
Heating the hot water. If that's not switched on,
yeah,
what you should see now, that little plug has disappeared on the screen. Yeah? So if that plug's not on the screen, you're not going to be operating on electric on your boiler. Right. Okay, so that needs to be switched on. The other reason why that plug may not be there is that you haven't plugged into electric, or the bollard on site may have tripped, or it may have tripped on there, but more than likely you haven't switched it on. So to operate on electric, you need that there. I'll just press the menu button to see further. But what I'm doing now is just to increase the temperature on the boiler, or on the thermostat, just to show you something. Yeah. He says hopefully. I'm going to go a bit further. Oh, there we go. So that icon there, that's a circulation pump for the heating system. So if you're aware of it or not, it is a central heating type system that's running around your van. That is to say, it is being circulated around the van. That noise is not your van, it's the compressor at the back of the shed. Right? It normally happens when I press a button. Right, so this is your thermostat. It can go as high as 30 degrees. Yeah. You might not want it that temperature. Yeah. So you set it to where obviously where you feel comfortable. If you're going to do it, there we go. So obviously the room goes above that temperature, it switches the circulation pump off. When it naturally drops to that temperature or just slightly below, allow the pump to come back on again. Okay. What you've also, the next one along, that's your water heating. So water heating off, press the plus button once, so that goes green, half a triangle coloured in. That's your normal running for your hot water system. Okay. If you want to boost it, you press that plus button again, full triangle coloured in now. So what that will do is concentrate all the heating on the boiler for that period of 30 minutes. So say you want to use a shower, you want that extra hot water.
Yeah.
That's what it'll do. What you don't want to be doing is, I think, I'll switch it on, I'm going to have a shower now. It'll give you some water for a short period of time and not long. But you want that extra, so you want to do that. So if you ever used an immersion heater on a boil at home, you need to switch it on, you know, probably even 30 minutes before, rather than right before you use it. Okay, after 30 minutes it will switch itself back to normal running, or you can switch it back manually by switching the minus button. What it will also do, as it's obviously doing that, is concentrating all the heat on the boiler, on the hot water. It will switch the circulation pump for heating off. So obviously if you're doing that, it's drawing the heating away from the boiler, so it's not keeping the heat there. So it will switch that boiler off. Switch the circulation pump off, so the boiler will maintain the heat. Okay, next one's along is your energy. So energy select, so you can operate on 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts, on electric or gas or both. Okay, so if I just explain that a bit more. So if, say I was using 2 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts is probably efficient enough to keep that boiler warm, especially in the summer, because you're not really going to be using a lot of heating, because that boiler does everything. So that heats the room and heats your water. In the winter, 2 kilowatts is probably not going to be efficient enough to be able to do both. Okay, so if you, in comparison, you compare 2 kilowatts to a kettle you've got at home, it could be 2 kilowatts, it's heating about 2 litres of water. This 2 kilowatts here is trying to heat 10 litres of water and this room. So your kettle at home is not trying to heat the kitchen as well, is it? Yeah. So 2 kilowatts is not really a huge amount of energy. It might give you some warmth, it might give you some water heat, but if you imagine it's really cold outside, it's really going to struggle. So what you could do is operate on both. So combined energy, obviously it's going to, 1, it's going to warm up quicker. 2, when it's operating, so it uses both energies from cold, gets up to temperature, they shut the gas off and tick over on electric. So it's not using the gas all the time, it's only when it needs it. So if someone like myself leaves the door wide open, temperature drops, it will come back up again. Okay, so it operates manually, or automatically I should say. Alright?